Hello.
Hi, Jagat.
Hi, Ayushree. Super. So wonderful to be here.
Yes, we will wait a few more minutes
Yeah.
till a few more people join us. We are at 6:30, so maybe about 2 minutes we can wait.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So wonderful to be back and wonderful to be, doing our webinars again.
Yes,
I mean, of course, you have been doing the women webinars, but this one's more about.
yes. Excited for this one and what we have in store today.
We'll just wait probably 1 minute and then we could get started, I guess.
Yes, we can do that.
We're also live on YouTube. That's fantastic. So YouTube, I think also on Facebook.
Facebook and LinkedIn also. So we are
LinkedIn as
live
well.
on all the media, social media channels. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So I think we can get started and, anybody's
Yes,
going to be
people
available.
can join us as they go along. Yeah.
All right. So actually, this one's a very special one.
Yes.
I think we've been waiting to do this for a while.
Yes.
I'm super happy that we can actually get to doing this.
Yes.
Uh, this, as we said, it's all about the concept of financial freedom. Now, you know, firstly, my name is Jagat, founder and CEO here at Vidphone. Been an entrepreneur about over a decade now, reaching a decade and a half. Uh, and of course, Ayushree, who's with us. Maybe Ayushree, maybe a quick introduction from you before we get started.
Yes. Hello, everyone. A very good evening, and good to have you all with us on this session where we are talking about financial freedom today, how you can revolutionize your business using our hybrid work suite. So excited for this session. I lead the business side of things at Vidphone as the associate VP business, and excited to collaborate and speak with you all and have you all today on this session. Thank you again, and please feel free to interact, use the comment section, the raise hand button, and excited for this one. Jagat, over to you.
Yeah. I think we'll just spend about 25, 30 minutes
Yes.
today. It's a kind of introductory session to I think many
Yes.
more that we're going to be doing. Uh, Talking about this brand new, work style called hybrid, and everyone's trying to figure out what is hybrid. Most companies, I would say, have not done a great job so far, as to what I hear and read. But is there no hope? Right. I mean, is there always going to be a war between management and employees, like they call it, right? But I don't. I somehow disagree. I don't think that there's going to be any kind of such issues. In fact, this work style, in my view, is something that's been due for a long time. Uh, just some introduction. So I started in 2010. We started, with the social commerce angle, I think way back. And since then, we've done digital transformation from some of the largest companies. 2016 on, of course, our whole video communications work and also various other products that we have built during our time. I think a lot of learnings have, come to us as an organization, right? And the idea here is, can we build something that we wanted for a long time? And I think that's really what always is the quest for me and for the company and for many other founders. I think everyone's trying to build something that they wish they had. And today, I think whether I want it or not, or whether somebody wants it, it's all about what the market needs. And what I see is that today there's a huge gap between what's expected and what's out there. Hi, Vidya. Wonderful to have you with us. Chandni as well. Thanks all. It's all wonderful to have all of you and all the others who will join us and watch this. Hats off to all of you for taking out time. I really appreciate that. So, what we're trying to do today, right? So, we're trying to encapsulate about a decade and a half of work around startups, around technology, uh, and of course, this big shift from 2020, where video and video communications has really come to the forefront. It's really at the center of all of knowledge work. Uh, Today, I just want to cover a few things. Obviously, I want to make this 20 minutes or so very, very useful to you. And of course, later on, I will run you through a quick demo of what we do. What is this hybrid work suite all about? and more importantly, what's in it for you, right? So what can you do using the hybrid work suite? Uh, Today, the video industry, I think all of you, all of us here today use video conferencing or video tools a lot more than what we were using maybe before the pandemic. Uh, but somehow, from 2020 to now, it's like 2024, the feature set has not increased, right? I think everyone's just using the same feature, which is scheduled video meeting links. And whether it's one platform or the other, the benefit or the the kind of feature set is quite limited. So we felt as a company that there should be a lot more innovation here. Simply doing scheduled video meetings is not enough. That we have to look at other aspects, and that's really what the platform or the whole opportunity is around. We're calling this the hybrid work suite, simply because it's not only about scheduled video meetings. There are unscheduled video meetings. There is asynchronous. So all of these has to come together. And more importantly, it's not about communication alone, right? This is about hybrid work itself. Sure, somebody can, connect on video conferencing, but how does that help the end customer? Is the customer journey getting better? Are the office, are the employees happy using these tools? So I think being in the industry, one of the sad things is that the only news you read is that video conferencing leads to fatigue. And there's generally more of a thought process that many meetings can be avoided. Why should we do a video meeting if an email is enough? So I think all of these questions are very relevant. And all of this is what we will look to address in the next few minutes, right? So going back to 2010, just want to kind of uh, come through where we are today and kind of look back. 2010, we lived in a very different era, right? So there was no mobility, there was no mobile phones. Internet connectivity was not great. In 2010, there was no real social networking in a big way, no real e-commerce to speak of in India. This is probably just when the Flipkarts and the Snapdeals of the world started. Uh, we were in a very, very different scenario back then. Fast forward 15 years, and today it's like we are living completely in a digital first world, right? I think unless somebody is living under a rock, I don't think anyone can be away from digital or their phones basically guiding their lives, right? This is how today we've reached a place where wherever you are, you just look around you and you will see people at a 45-degree angle looking down into their phones. That is the natural state of the world. So that's kind of how we have gotten to. Now, is that a good thing or is that a bad thing, right? So I think definitely the role of technology is good, but again, it really depends on, is it helping some outcomes? It's not just about technology for technology's sake, but is it really helping people's lives? And that's where we come in, right? So three big things that we've kind of learned over time. And of course, now it's about 6:40. I want to close this in a few minutes, and then maybe some Q&A. Ayushree, you too, feel free to kind of, discuss or have some points or even ask some questions. So in this 15-year journey, uh, there are three things that I've learned, right? And these might seem pretty simple, but the question is that how do we actually execute and implement these three secrets that I'm going to talk about? And that's really what I want to share first. And the very first one is that uh, the first secret is that in a startup environment, technology is front and center. Right? I know way too many people who are reasonably not from a big technical background, who do not understand product at a big level, but they do have a lot of sales and marketing skills, and many times they feel that that may be enough to run a successful startup. Many times it may be true. You may find great co-founders who can complement you, but the first thing for being a really solid, I would say, post-COVID startup founder is to actually put technology at the front and center of your business. No matter what business you run, if it is not tech enabled today, I think there is a very less chance of it being very relevant, or at least being relevant for a period of time. That's, I think, what we have learned, or I say many times, like, COVID was like the catalyst that made this whole video revolution happen. In fact, uh, one could look at, probably just give me 1 second here.
We'll just have Jagat back in a minute. By then, everyone who has joined us, if you guys have any questions or comments, or you guys want, certain questions that needs to be answered through the session, please do feel free to put it in the comments, and we will take it as we go along. Thank you.
Is this okay? Am I audible?
Yes, Jagat, you are.
And all the video is all good, because one of the
Yes,
things with
yes,
running
yes, it's all good. We could hear you then too, but now too, it's all fine. Yeah.
okay, great. All right. So I was talking about the first secret, which is really about putting technology at the front and center of your business, right? And let me be honest with you, it's really tough. Thanks, Shiva. Thanks for that. Yep. Uh, One of the toughest things I've seen is to actually build that product that's technically superior at that time in the market. It's one of the hardest things to do in the world. Just sharing from some experience of my own, uh, we didn't do video conferencing in 2020. We've been doing it from 2016. Uh, 2016 when we started building it. Uh, sure, video conferencing was there in the boardrooms, and there were always the Polycoms and the Ciscos of the world, but we were not using video the way that we use today. Now, fast forward 2020 plus, pretty much the same product. Of course, there are a lot of improvements, but the timing just changed, and people's needs just changed. The product remained the same. It's like the Led Zeppelin song. The song remains the same. So the product remained the same, and suddenly the market is very, very accepting of that. So one of the hardest things to ever do as a founder, I think, is to predict, or to time the market, as they say. It's very, very tough to do that. So, but if you look at the past few products that we may think about that really kind of broke open amidst a lot of other noise. Last year, everyone was talking about AI, and of course, who doesn't know ChatGPT? It's one of the examples in recent memory where the kind of traction and the usage that that product got, and nobody ever saw an ad again of ChatGPT. It was all completely word of mouth driven, technology superiority, and that just happened sometime back. Video conferencing, whether it's there's so many other products, and us, of course. So video conferencing just boomed out of nowhere in 2020. 2022, 23, it was all about AI. Who knows what it is tomorrow, right? Your guess is as good as mine. Of course, it's got to do with something that we don't see typically. I mean, everyone understands, like, there are certain paths that are going, but the whole element of surprise is that in areas that you don't expect, things happen. Uh, so it's really impossible, I would say, to time the market, and every founder's wish is that they could do it. So what does one do if they're not technologically right there? Uh, the thing that I learned is that you can associate with those that are probably moving the frontier on technology, uh, and always bet on the macro trends. Like, nobody really cares whether it's going to be ChatGPT or Bard that tomorrow is going to be good at AI. The bottom line is that AI is going to be big. Similarly, with conferencing, it doesn't matter if our competition, perceived competition, or we are going to actually be there 10 years from now. What matters is that you ride that wave of video enablement to better your own business. Similarly, it was a blockchain, though we all hope things happen in a good way on Web3 as well. Is it going to happen through Ethereum or the Bitcoin blockchain? I don't know. I mean, it should have happened if it was by now. So it's going to be something else that we have no clue about. But what we can do is to ride that wave, right? I don't need to know how the telephone works for me to use it. So that's pretty much how I see those who are not, I would say, from a product or from a technology, background. How do you still benefit off this curve? Is to simply associate and align yourself with some people who are. That's, I think, the number one secret. If you really want to be a tech CEO, do tech. I mean, so you can't really just be doing sales and marketing and say that you're doing some tech stuff. It's not going to happen. Or even if it does happen for a short while, I think you don't have a competitive moat there. Any other person can do what you do. So number one secret, if I could say that, it's an open secret, but probably not so much practiced, right? Is that if you want to do a tech startup or a tech business, do a tech business. So that's, I think, number one. The second is a secret that I kind of discovered, I think 15, 16 years back. But over the past few years, I've really seen that kind of come into my life in a big way. And that is, I think, the power of networks. Right? There is that statement everybody says, your net worth is your net worth. I would reasonably agree with that. Not only your network, but there are probably some other things that need to come together. But definitely, I think the network plays a big role in a person or a company's journey. Right? The toughest part is to build that network. And, I ask a simple question to some people saying, like, how many new friends did you make last year? Or how many new connections did you make last year? Typically, on most of our lists, we, be it social media or our WhatsApp, these are typically people that we already know. But in business, I think one of the key things is to keep that pipeline always growing. And a pipeline is nothing but a list of names. So I do feel that it should become second nature for anybody in business to be a great networker, right? So the second big secret that I think is the power of networks and how that can actually benefit every single business person. One of the things I learned, I think guys from telecommunications would know Metcalfe's law. It's one of the most profound laws that I came across, and it basically says that the economic value of a network is proportional to the square of the nodes or the users of that network. Simple example is like if I have one telephone, the economic value of that is pretty much zero. The formula is actually n into n minus 1 by 2 for some math geeks. So if the n is 1, so it's 1 into 1 minus 1, that's 0 by 2, which is 0. So the economic net value of a network or of a network where there's one phone user is 0. If there are two phone users, the n becomes 2, and that's 2 into 1 by 2, and the economic value of that network is equal to 1, which means you can make one connection between those two nodes. And so on and so forth. So with 3, you get 3 into 2 by 2, which is the economic power becomes 3, and it kind of exponentially increases to the square of the number of users. So one of the biggest benefits in your life is if you can improve or increase your network. It's not only about the direct connections, but we also look to tap into the network of networks, right? Where your friend may not be a great business partner, but your friend's friend might be a great business partner for you. So I think the power of networks is something that I've really begun to understand is very important. I've always felt that way, and naturally, I think I'm a reasonably friendly guy, so I like to make friends. But in business, I think it's even more important, right? We just cannot operate business from a silo and stay under a rock and run a business. It's impossible. So the second big secret is the power of networks. The first secret, as I said, was the power of technology and how to align with trends that are going up. The second is the power of networks. And how do we kind of build that? How do we kind of improve or increase that? Maybe some of you are having some issues signing in because of an update or some browser issues, but that's totally fine as long as you're able to hear me. Thank you. Now coming to the final secret. you know Most people, I think, and I've met a few founders in my time, and most founders are almost running like a job. And I think the third secret to me is really the power of automation. I think automation is that holy grail which puts your business in God mode. If you're not able to automate certain things, uh, I think you're constantly doing a job. And that's not the idea of running business or being in business. I think it's very important that we understand which are those parts that need to be automated and how does one go about doing that. Couple of areas that I found very important in automation. I think the lifeline of a business is sales and marketing. So there needs to be an automated way for us to create and nurture customers. That's the number one thing. The second thing is, I think, in terms of automating the internal process in a team. How does the team grow? How does the team self learn and basically start executing and be productive very, very early? The most important thing that people miss out today is in the hybrid work style. There are a lot of people who may be doing webinars, but the question I ask is, like, how many of those people who attended your webinar converted to customers? Which is many times the objective of doing webinars. It is to have outreach and hopefully convert them or get them into a sales call. There are very few processes that allow you to have a concise way of nurturing these webinar leads into sales customers. So these are three big things that I felt, as any founder or as a person who wants to make money online, it's critical that we learn, I think, these three things. The number one is the technology, is to really dive in and do things that may be uncomfortable and familiarize ourselves with tech, or we have to align with probably those who we think are moving in that direction. The second, of course, is the power of networks. And trust me, it's probably easier than we think. Building a list of 1,000 potential leads is not too different from building a lead list of 100. It's pretty much the same kind of work, but most people just do not get there. And let me show you why. The third, of course, is the power of automation, or the secret of automation. Uh, while it's a highly used word, in my view, there are two main areas where we need to automate. That is the external and the internal. The external has to do with customer creation and nurturing. That is, to not only convert them once into the customers, but to have an ongoing relationship with them so that we are constantly adding value. And the second is that the internal processes. How do we organically and naturally automate internal process in the company, which is to do with your team, your partnerships, your distribution, etc. So, how does one do these things, right? Okay, Jagat, this is a bit of theory here. I can get them anywhere. I need to kind of grow my, tech skills. I need to grow my business skills, and I need to build some automation. I don't think there's a single platform in the world that allows people to run their business today in today's hybrid world. And that's the reason why we continue to innovate and build on Vidphone. While some of the companies that enabled this whole work from home atmosphere today are, literally forcing their employees to show up at the office. I think that's very, very ironic. And my belief has always been to put my money and money where my mouth is. If I'm saying that we're building conferencing to avoid travel, we might as well move ahead and try and build what's needed to achieve that goal. Hybrid has been very important for many sections, and I think with Ayushree's work around women entrepreneurship as well, we see that we are able to bring in a large section of audiences that it was binary. It was either that you work from the office or you don't work at all. And today that I think is getting, kind of bridged with hybrid work. And I think it's very important for companies to continue to innovate and make these things happen, as opposed to roll back to 2019 and say, hey, let's get back to the office. And what better way than, probably to just show you what we do. So let me just share my screen, run you through is my screen visible?
Not yet, Jagat.
Sorry, I'm just testing a couple of browsers. I think that's probably why. Okay. Actually, can you just share your screen if you don't mind? Sorry.
Yes. You want me to open the dashboard directly?
Sure. You can just open our support dashboard. So I think first let's open the website. Let's run people through very quickly what it's about.
Just give me a minute, please.
Take your time. I'm just on Firefox, and it looks like Firefox has some. I keep testing different.
Is my screen visible to you all?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. So this is what we call it. It's a smart video address for your hybrid work, and as you can see, the whole purpose of this is to give you multiple tools, multiple video tools to address different use cases in business. These could be to gain more leads, to convert more customers, to provide better support, and most importantly, to collaborate with your team in a productive way. No more boring, video meeting links. So we can just scroll down very quickly. As you can see, we are supported by some wonderful organizations. We want to thank all of them. So Vidphone really is a virtual business hub, right? Webinars today are the number one way for you to supercharge your marketing. The second is that today all of sales or most of sales is closed online. And the third is that the future of customer support is video and face-to-face. Now, let's just log in and kind of run you through, some of the features. This is not a complete demo, and I'm nearing 7 o'clock, so I'll just very quickly go through some of the key aspects of what we do.
Sorry.
Yeah. So this, we can just skip that dialogue there. Of course, you can earn money with Vidphone. That's what we're all about. We are not about just having endless long conversations. If you spend time on Vidphone, I hope that you make a lot of money on it. So now let's just look at the left side where, we have a bunch of tabs there. If you can just zoom into that a little bit. Yeah. So we've kind of structured this into a very, very simple 3-section format, right? So the number one is a set of tools that people use on a day-to-day basis in various scenarios. This includes video meetings, your webinars or your live streaming campaigns, video messaging or vmail that we call it, asynchronous video, very, very effective today, and of course, video appointment scheduling. These are, I think, I would say like the bread and butter of hybrid work. If you don't understand these 4 tools, I think, you have a significant kind of, you're on the back foot in this whole play. The second, and we focus a lot on, companies and businesses here, it's all about your customers. The company exists because of the customer. In fact, one of the great sayings is that the sole purpose of a company is to create and continue, with the customer generation. That's the purpose of a company. This consists of 4 main sections here. The number one is what we call the contacts or your leads or your name list. It's basically a database of all the potential people that you may encounter, meet. You may have them on your email, on your phone. Without a list, I think it's impossible to run a business. Any business, the first step is to build a database. Now, thanks to Vidphone, I would say, and thanks to today's digital kind of living, your entire universe of contacts is available, to be synchronized in 1 or 2 clicks. Today, I think everybody, previously the number was about 150 people, is that every person is connected to about 150 people, at any point in time. Today, I think that number is probably 1,000. If somebody just goes to your contacts on your phone and just check how many contacts you have. Most people would be probably about 500 plus. I don't know. Actually, I'm wondering what your number is, but I think 500 plus, 1,000 plus easily. And then if you go to your email list, you have probably another 1,000 out there. So before you start a single sales pitch, you have a database of nearly 2,000 to 3,000 people there that you can reach. And I'm not even getting into your social media. So easily, anybody who wants to get started can have access to about 2 to 3,000 people right there. Now, what if you don't have a product or a service that you build or you own to sell? This is the area that I think Vidphone really comes in. Even if you're not a full-time entrepreneur or you're not somebody who's building out a product or have an original service to sell, at Vidphone, we give you the option to refer or to use our product suite to be able to sell to your own audiences. Soon we will also have other startups and other founders, and you can actually sell products of other startups just like they were your own, and benefit from your networks, benefit from the sales that you will actually bring in. A very unique opportunity that we actually provide is to visualize this whole scenario of yours through the VCRM. Now, you'll know that every business requires a CRM. It's a customer relationship management tool. But most people stick to Excel sheets. Now, with a VCRM, it's the first video first CRM. What I mean by that is, typically you would look at CRMs and people would, the older way of doing things was go to an event, get a bunch of cards, come back to the office and key in all those cards into the CRM. That's not how we work hybrid. It starts video first with a webinar, and then the leads are nurtured from there through an email sequence into your sales call and then the customer conversion. You can actually visualize that whole customer journey in one place. And the fourth customer feature there, which I think is the holy grail of online or hybrid selling, it's called marketing automation, video marketing automation. How can you orchestrate automated customer journeys for digital consumers? So basically, how do I acquire, convert, and retain customers in God mode? Actually, if you could just probably click on that marketing automation, just give you a very quick thing. You just create a new one, a new campaign. Now we can just call this hybrid 1, for example. It's just an example. We can create that. Now, what this allows you to do is to craft customized and personalized campaigns based on your consumer. So the moment a new user is added to your list, you could just click on that edit emails. You could actually customize what are the touch points you want to maintain with this lead to be able to get them to do the next step. That next step could be come into another webinar, come into a sales call, complete a payment, or whatever it could be. You could really customize all these flows in one interface and automate your customer journey with video marketing automation. Now coming to the team, hybrid work I've always believed is comprised of two main areas, your external and your internal. When I say external, it's all about your customers. It's how are you generating new leads, how are you converting customers and keeping them happy. And the internal is what the customers may not see that's happening in your organization. Typically, it's to do with your team, your partners, your vendors. Everybody knows that video meetings cause fatigue, but what are we doing to solve that? We have what we call the virtual HQ. So you can just click on the virtual HQ to give you an idea. This is basically like a top view of your office. So just imagine, you could click on that, okay, yeah. You can just imagine that you are sitting in your house and your team is all over the world, but all of you have a common place to hang out, which is your virtual office. No more sending schedule links back and forth, no more getting Zoom bombed. This is your own office. You can customize it the way you want. Really give people the feeling of corporate culture and being part of a company there. You could customize this. We have some off-the-rack themes you can use for the flow plans. You can also put in your own logo there and really have fun working in the virtual office. is finally a place that employees can call home online, or employees can call the office online. So these are some of the features. Now let's just look at what we have done. If you just look at our VCRM, Ayushree, if you can just
Yes.
on the results. So this is just one of our IDs that we use. We've been doing, we have done probably hundreds of webinars over our time, and you can see there a lot of the, I would say that all of those leads, 1,000 odd leads, are all people who are part of our community that we generate doing our own webinars, promoting them, and hopefully a large percentage of these also convert at some point into a paid consultation where we can add, or a paid engagement where we can add a lot more value. A lot of our customers include some of the largest brands on the planet. We've had customers, Underwriters Laboratories, DTZ, the world's largest political party, some of India's largest media houses. We have, tons of startups from India and around the world who use our product. Recently, we completed an engagement with the state level government as well. So all of this is proof about what this system is all about. It's for you to generate infinite leads and be able to really uh, run your business completely in a hybrid mode. I know about 6-7 minutes above time, but I think all of this is available only for Vidphone users. I don't think there is another platform on the planet that allows you to basically start, run, and grow your hybrid business. And that's what we call the hybrid work suite. I'm sure a lot of you may have used other software suites. Typically, when you look at the two big office suites in the world, maybe Google, what's it called, Workspace, or Microsoft, I think Office 365 or whatever they call it. I think both of these are focused completely on internal communications. It's all to do with your team. It's very less to do with your customers. And how can you have a hybrid business if you cannot cater to your digital customers? And so that's why at the Vidphone Hybrid Work Suite, our focus is on customers as much, if not more, than our internal tools. With other solutions that offer only video conferencing, you don't have the benefit of multiple tools to be able to address your customers and your employees. So that's quickly what Vidphone is all about, the hybrid work suite. And if you are interested to know more, to partner, to really grow your business in ways that you never thought possible, you should be reaching out to us. In fact, you could hit our website, create a free account. We're going to remove the free accounts very soon, simply because you can look at the kind of demand that's there. We just want to have people who really commit to what we do. There are a lot of free tools out there. There's a quote that I learned 15 years back that says, if you pay peanuts, you will only get monkeys. So I do believe that for those who are serious about what we do, there is, always a deeper engagement that's needed. And today you also have that. So super happy coming to the end of this demo. I would like to now take a couple of questions. Actually, if you can just pull up one or two of the questions and I could kind of, address those.
Yes.
Sorry.
So stop sharing. I'll just
Just read them
read
out.
out a few questions. So we had a question, how to get 100 valuable customers in the first month. What are the strategic actions that need to take place? We have this question from Rekha.
No, thanks, Rekha. That's wonderful that you asked that. And it's, I think, the holy grail for everybody. How do we generate leads? There are two big ways to do this. And I would say one is the organic way and one is the inorganic way. I would not say that one is better than the other. But when we are starting off, when I'm talking of my first 100 leads, not my 400 to 500 lead, I would say that the business is all about you, right? Especially when you're a startup founder. Today, if you look at a Sundar Pichai or a Satya Nadella, though they're not founders, they basically have the tag Microsoft or Google with them. And they are basically selling the entity. But as a founder, many times we don't have the luxury of a big brand. And in my view, I think your customers or your initial leads, I mean, if you say quality leads or qualified leads who can become customers, it's all about you. And it really is about the founder's vision, commitment, knowledge, and probably ability that people buy into. The number one way today to establish your authority or your credibility in a space is, I believe, by doing webinars. And again, it's not only because I am promoting what we do, but we are also doing what actually works. And I would easily say that, okay, you can go to a few events, get a mentor, join an incubation. But the real answer to that is you getting out and talking to your potential audience. That's the only way I believe is a credible, scalable, and profitable way to build customers. It's not just 100, but as you can see, thousands and tens of thousands of leads actually happen this way. I hope that answered reasonably.
Yes, Rekha says yes, but it is to get leads, but how to get potential leads? Rekha, if you want, you can come. I can enable the raise hand, and you can, come on video and also ask this question. So let us know if you want to, if you have any follow up specific questions. You can. The raise hand is enabled. Anyone who wants to ask any question, please use the raise hand button that you'll see at the bottom of your screen, and we can let you in.
Feel free to. And while she's coming in, I would just probably want to step in and kind of answer that. The question is, how do you get qualified leads? So, as I said, you have a contact list. I think starting a customer journey always begins with a database. And so this database today is available to everybody, at least 1,000 people. That's right from your contacts, your emails, and also look at your contacts, right? So that would be the best way to bootstrap your initial list. And then you would reach out to these people and tell them, hey guys, I'm doing this webinar. Why don't you come and join and hear what I'm saying? And so that's how those who are interested, those who show up, those who show interest in your webinar, these are probably people who are spending their time, and it makes a lot of sense why they may also become customers tomorrow. This, I believe, is what's working with some of the top organizations and salespeople in the world today. Yeah, there's a raise hand. I will just allow that. Yeah. Ayushree, should we just allow the guest in? You're muted.
Yes, please.
Could you just raise your hand again? Sorry, I think both of us did it at the same time.
Yes.
Guest 7. I'm guessing that's Rekha. I don't know. Rekha, if you could just click the raise hand, we would, love to let you in. Okay, while she does that, okay, there she goes. Actually, you can take it.
Yes, I'm just taking it. I think her net, yeah, Shiva also has. So I'll just take Shiva first.
Hello?
Yeah,
Yes.
sure.
You can hear me, right, Jagat? Jagat, I was interested in knowing, in case for future reference, if we have any sessions with all necessary consent from the participants, especially when it comes to it could be a sales pitch or it could be a business pitch, product launch, or product description in front of a wider audience. If we want to keep a repository or a record of such a session or a webinar, what is the ideal format that Vidphone app supports? Many, if it also supports various other format, convertible format, that also I think Akhil replied there. It's MP4.
MP4 you can download. So the first thing is that the same link, if you visit it a few minutes after the webinar, the recording is already available on the same link. So suppose it's not that the webinar goes off. That's of course if you keep the recording there. This is not a video meeting. The idea of the webinar is, of course, to kind of keep it there for a while. So it's available on the same link. You can also download it from your dashboard. It's also
Sure.
available to download.
Sure. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you
Thanks
so
for
much.
joining, Shiva. Really appreciate that.
No problem. Most welcome. And thanks for inviting, Jagat.
No, no, it's a pleasure. We're not able to get guest 7 on. You're muted.
We can see her, but she's not being able to come in. Hi,
Hmm.
Rekha. Just 1 second, please. Let me try again.
Can we share a presenter link with her in case there's an issue with the raise hand? Oh, there
No,
you
I
go.
think she's there. Yeah.
Great.
Hi, Rekha.
Hi, I'm not able to see you. Am
Okay,
I
Okay.
we can
visible
see
to
you.
you? Am I
Yes.
visible to you?
Yes, yes, you are. We can see you and hear you.
Yeah. Hi, this is Rekha.
There we
What my question is here? See, I'm very. I have potential to generate the leads
go. Mhm.
and get a business. But where am I falling is here. See, when I was working as a solopreneur, to earn peanuts was not a problem for me. But when I become an entrepreneur to generate more leads, somehow I'm failing because my company is not yet funded. So we are funding ourselves to develop a product. And what I am also thinking is I am failing every time to get a lot of leads, because when I have lot of leads, then only I get a lot of revenue in my company to generate something else, right? Since it is a software product, we need to invest on it and we need to get the fund, we need to get the revenue. So my question is here, for me to sit and generate leads is not a problem, but see, if I keep on doing the same thing, I may not get something else, strategic planning or
Sure.
something else. So I want something kind of a suggestion from you, uh, to think something else beyond this. So do you have any suggestion for me to provide on this?
No, thanks for joining. First of all, Rekha, really, really nice that you joined us. And you know, I need to understand specifically what the business is to give you a more personalized answer. But two things I would like to say, right? Number one, a solopreneur and an entrepreneur, I think there's a big difference.
Yeah.
It's as different as saying that I'm a doctor and I'm running a hospital.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, if that makes sense. Because I would always say that entrepreneurship is a team sport. It's like golf versus cricket.
Yeah.
Uh, and a set of different skills are needed to run, I think, with a bunch of people together than when I run alone. You know,
Correct.
there are a lot of people who are great at individual sports, maybe tennis or golf, and a different set of skills that is required in running team sports like football or basketball or cricket. Just to give you an example.
Yeah.
So I think firstly to understand the difference, and that's when they kind of convert to customer. It's like an engine, right? There are certain things that need to be working to do certain things. To generate leads, you need a set of activities. To convert those leads to customers, you need a set of different activities.
Yeah. Correct.
So,
Correct.
what are those different activities? And how does that come together? So, that's what we need to answer.
Yeah.
Second, also, is that uh, what you're saying is a problem that I've seen many people have, which is I'm building a product, I need to invest into that. And so I'm not able to get customers, and it's a cyclic loop. That's why we have the hybrid work suite, where even if you do not currently have a product,
Mm.
you can use your sales and marketing skills to be able to distribute our and other startups products, so that you're still leveraging your sales and your networking skills while your whole product's being built, and that's moving parallelly. So many times people run out of cash, run out of runway, run out of time while the product's being built. But if you're generating revenue and able to build your network at the same time, definitely you can extend that runway for your own product. And that's the reason we have our own entrepreneur in residence program that Ayushree also helps put together. And we're happy to connect with you if we can actually get something going there for you. Yeah.
Is it like, is it a paid, we should pay for this tool? What is the subscription charges or initial payment or pre bono? Would you like to give the pre bono service for minimum number of days, or how are you going to give this tool to the?
So I think people know the costs of conferencing. Webinars, start at like 7,000 rupees a month. no matter which platform you do. Conferencing is probably, free. Free products last you 40 minutes or whatever, like the other
Yeah.
ones offer. But as I said before, if you offer peanuts, you only get monkeys. So always I believe that we need to make an investment. So definitely there are costs that we expect our users to kind of look at, but it's always going to be proportional to the value. So if we're going to charge you 1 rupee, we actually believe, and you will also believe, that it's going to give you value worth 10 rupees. We believe that if we can add value that get of 10 rupees, it makes sense for us to run a 1 rupee or 2 rupees that we can charge our users. That's the kind of math that goes behind the pricing. That being said, for people who build our business, of course we have massive discounts. Many times we also give it free for a while, so that they are able to get started without any payment also. Yeah.
Okay, fine, fine. So can I talk to you later after this call regarding this, even if it is not now, tomorrow or Monday, with respect to this tool?
Definitely, I think you should reach out.
Yes.
Ayushree is handling that program.
Yeah.
Feel free to schedule a time with her, and definitely we can look at it. Where
Yeah.
are you from? I'm curious. Are you in Bangalore?
Yeah, I'm from Bangalore.
So also, I would invite them, everyone here, to the Cubbon Park event on 4th of Feb. Founder Mixer, the Cubbon Mixer, going to be a lot of fun. So hopefully you catch us up there. Yeah.
Sure, sure.
Also.
Much.
Okay. Thanks a
Thank
lot.
you so much.
Yes. I've
Thanks.
also put my schedule link on the group, Rekha, on the comment section, and you can schedule a call with me
Yeah,
next week
yeah,
sometime.
We
Yes.
look
sure.
forward. I really we require people who have drive and networks and have hunger to do big things. We'd love to partner with them.
Sure. Thank
Thank you.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks. Bye.
Thanks.
Okay. So I think Ayushri, coming to the end of this session,
Yes.
really
Yes.
wonderful. Thanks for coordinating the whole thing. This is
Yes.
the first of many sessions. I'm feeling
Yes.
so psyched right now. We have such an awesome platform. And
Yes.
what's
Yes.
really amazing is that we have so many capable and wonderful people around us. I'm just
Exactly.
constantly, we are at NASCOM, and I'm amidst some wonderful startups and founders.
Yes.
Even beyond NASCOM, like we saw Rekha and so many dynamic people. I'm really excited about what's coming. As I
Yes.
said, the Cubbon Park Mixer, the Cubbon Mixer is on the 4th of February at Cubbon Park. Walk, talk, and network. So that's the whole theme. Vijeta, of course, will be there. A lot of our other friends are going to be there. So I invite everybody to join us and walk amidst the greenery and beauty that is Cubbon Park. Ayushri, over to you. Any notes from you, and then we can close.
No, thanks, Jagat. That was wonderful, and I think we quite a good idea about what we do at Vidphone, and we obviously look forward to, and thank you all for joining us and all the interactions, all the questions. We look forward to many more, and we would be doing many more. Like Jagat said, a lot of you already know that we are introducing the Entrepreneur in Residence program, about which we have shared, and we have spoken to a few of you too. So please feel free to get in touch, and my schedule link is right there. Any questions you guys have on that or on our platform, please feel free to schedule a link so that we can collaborate better. Thanks, Shiva. Thank you for being a wonderful audience. Thank you everyone who's viewing us live too, and thank you, Jagat. Thanks, Akhil, for the support. Thank you.
Thanks, Ayushri. Bye bye, everybody.
Yes.